Staying in Zimbabwe, where Chinese President Xi Jinping held closed meetings with President Robert Mugabe as he seeks to boost a floundering economy. The Chinese president is on a two-day state visit to Zimbabwe en route to South Africa for the China-Africa summit this week. He's accompanied by a 200-member business delegation.
Jubilant celebrations greet President Xi Jinping on the first state visit by a Chinese head of state since 1996. The most senior world leader to visit Zimbabwe in years, it's a major publicity coup for the investment-starved nation. China is Zimbabwe's biggest single investor, but has been restrained by Zimbabwe's poor credit rating, as well as a lack of clarity about political succession within the ruling party.
By a Chinese leader making a trip to Harare, this could be somehow explaining a turnaround in terms of his view of Harare possibly and Harare politics.
The two leaders are expected to sign agreements on transport, agriculture and infrastructure. But the business community believes that the political visit won't necessarily translate into investment deals. Zimbabwe's economic growth has halved over the last year, and none of the deals signed over the last year have changed that.
China's involvement in Zimbabwe it can only be looked at from a long-term view. You can't look at benefits and results, which will see Zimbabwe announcing even a double budget. At the moment, any investor will somehow be apprehensive in approaching the Zimbabwe market. So, no matter how many visits you make either between Beijing and Harare, this will not necessarily pump the funds into the economy because the fundamentals are still somehow pointing to a gloomy picture.
Zimbabwe's investment body says the country has risen in the world rankings. The body is working to make Zimbabwe a more attractive destination.
We've done away with a lot of the bureaucracy in terms of the impediments, costs, as well as length of time it's taken to actually translate, investment applications to reality. We have a deadline of 21st of December in terms of completing a raft of measures.
Trade relations between the two countries are skewed in favor of Zimbabwe by almost $500 million, according to the Investment Authority. Zimbabwe exports raw minerals and tobacco to China, but there's still a perception that the country is being exploited with little in return. President Mugabe will host his Chinese counterpart in a state banquet on Tuesday evening, before President Xi leaves for South Africa on Wednesday morning. Shingai Nyoka, SABC News, Harare, Zimbabwe.